success for Mysore. No, I'm saying this because since when big sharp objects to a child's hand is simply this, not because a knife is dangerous, nor is a child dangerous for that matter. It is simply because a child's hand is not steady and child is not very conscious. Unconsciously, he may harm himself or harm somebody else. Right now, this is all the problem with humanity. You have an intelligence. I'm just trying to tell you, in this whole evolutionary process, you are the flower of evolution on this planet. Hello?
Yes!
Where is the fragrance, I'm asking? Because you're really on top of the world. If you look at the pile of creatures, millions of them, you're really on top of the world in terms of intelligence, in terms of competence, in terms of capability, in terms of ability to create something wonderful and also ability to destroy things. You have all this. But why is it human intelligence has become such a big problem? First of all, is intelligence a problem or a solution? Intelligence a problem or a solution? It's a solution. But you say you're stressed, you're anxious, you're this, you're that. There are 72 different varieties of psychological problems in the world. Those of them who are pathologically ill for some reason, that's a different matter. But rest of them who are going through daily miseries, I'm talking to you. Why is your intelligence doing this? Your intelligence is supposed to work for you, not against you. If suppose it so happened, your right hand, these two fingers, just start poking your eyeballs. What should we do? Somebody, if there is somebody who cares for you next to you, they will hold your hand, what are you doing? If it doesn't work, they will tie you to the chair. If it doesn't work, maybe they'll take you to the doctor in the eye, he will amputate your fingers, because otherwise you will pull out your eyeballs. So when you do not know how to use a faculty, it will become dangerous. If your intelligence really is working for you, would you make yourself blissful or miserable?
Miserable!
You must choose, I'm blessing you.
Miserable!
That's a good choice. Sometimes what you want for your neighbor may be debatable, but what you want for yourself is very clear. You want the highest level of pleasantness for yourself.
Yes!
If your body becomes pleasant, we call this health.
Yes!
Blessing, yes?
Yes!
If it becomes very pleasant, we call it pleasure.
Yes!
I did ask. If your mind becomes pleasant, we call this peace.
Yes!
If it becomes very pleasant, we call it joy.
Yes!
If your emotions become pleasant, we call this love.
Yes!
If it becomes very pleasant, we call this compassion.
Yes!
If your very life energies become pleasant, we call this blissfulness. If it becomes very pleasant, we call it ecstasy.
Yes!
If your surroundings become pleasant, we call it success or Mysore. No, I'm saying this because since when? Beginning of May, 1st of May, I landed in Amman. From there I've been riding through the deserts. Some places the temperatures were 54 degrees and I've been riding. The winds were blowing at 45, 50 kilometers per hour, almost blowing me off the road, and the dust and everything. Then I thought India will be relief. I came to Gujarat, Rajasthan, boom, sweltering heat all along. Slowly as I came towards Bangalore, little air is cool. Lost its feeling like. For the first time after I came here, the clothes are getting wet from outside. Very good thing, you know. Otherwise, it's just dripping from inside. So, only for creating pleasantness around you, you need the cooperation of people and forces around you. To create pleasantness of the body, pleasantness of the mind, pleasantness of emotion and energy is 100% your business. Hello? 100% your business. If you do this one thing, that if you sit here, you're pleasant by your own nature. If this one thing you do, you will have a lot of time and energy to do many wonderful things in the world, and we can definitely save soil. See, you are the only creatures on this planet. Am I using the right word?
Yeah.
You are the only creatures on the planet who are referred to as beings, human beings. We don't call an ant being, an elephant being, a tiger being. No, only you are beings. Because you are supposed to know how to be. How to be. No, don't blabber, come on now. That means if you sit here, you know how to be. If you know how to be, will you keep yourself pleasant or unpleasant?
Pleasant!
100%, isn't it? This one thing you must do in your life, that you know how to be. What is happening around you is not always in your control. Never is in your control 100%. Never in your life it will so happen that the outside situations are 100% in your control. That will never happen to you. Because always there will be something happening, one way or the other. But this 1% must happen your way. If this person doesn't happen your way, you are a disaster. Yes or no?
Yes!
That person is not happening your way, that person is not happening your way, even that one is not happening your way. That's not the problem. This one is not happening your way. This is a tragedy. This one thing if you fix, every damn problem on the planet can be easily fixed, because right now, why has this happened? Why did we do this to the soil? Is there some evil force sitting somewhere wanting to destroy this planet?
No.
There is no such force. It is. I'm going to just do a little gossip with you, it's okay? So when I started in London on 20th of March, actually one day before, a lady journalist was interviewing me, and she said, "Sadhguru, what's wrong with you? I've been following you for so long, but you've taken soil? Who is going to support you for this soil? It's the most unromantic thing that I expect from you." Who is going to do soil, of all the things, soil in the world? Here we are. This is 95th or 96th day, I'm not sure. But 4 days ago, our social media metrics done by a responsible agency in the United States says a conservative estimate is we have touched 3.2 billion people. Remember, that's been unheard of before for soil. Take soil. Because I've been talking about this for the last 30 years, and I've spoken to many responsible people, bureaucrats, ministers, heads of states, many scientists, and when I speak to them, they say, "This is wonderful, Sadhguru, what you're saying is great, fantastic," and they go to sleep. I'm asking you also, hello, you also? So you're not this kind? See, sleep is not a crime, but if you sleep through your life, you're a disaster. Crime is better than a disaster, believe me. So, I was just looking at what is it that it takes to wake up these people. And, I don't hold any, I'm not a member of the parliament, nor do I'm a minister, nor do I hold any office of public responsibility. So I have no power or authority over anybody. The only thing I have is the love and goodwill of people around the world. I thought I would play a little yo-yo with their hearts and see if it works. So, people are asking me, why a motorcycle? Why a motorcycle? Well, what's it? Hey, come on, it's okay. I said it's gossip if you don't understand what it is. Please sit down, it's okay, we understood. So, people asking me why a motorcycle? Well, if I try to walk 30,000 kilometers, it is sure death. If I try to cycle, I know that is also sure death. So I chose something which could kill me, but it has not. There have been many dangerous moments where things would have gone absolutely wrong. But here we are, after nearly 28,000 kilometers, 3.2 billion people, and 74 nations have signed up. Other nations are studying the handbooks of the enterprise. And across the world, the most important thing is, across the world, soil has become an important part of the conversation. That is the most important thing. Soil has become romantic. Hello. So, in this world, we are busy finding differences between us. Gender, caste, creed, religion, nationalities, race. People are always looking for what is the difference. When there are so many differences, and we have found out every goddamn difference there is between you and me, and we have made that into a point of either confrontation or conflict most of the time, I also thought it's extremely important that we explore the common factors, common denominators that exist between us, which is very, very important. Soil is that common factor. We all come from the same soil. We are thriving on the same soil. When we die, we go back to the same soil. The only choice we have is, shall we come together for soil, or will we come together only when we are in the soil? This is the choice we have. This is the choice we have. Will we wake up now and realize the very body that we carry is soil, or will we know it only when we are buried? Well, even then it's useful because we make good manure, but if you realize this now, we can turn this around. This is one of the greatest challenges that this generation is facing. At the same time, it is the greatest privilege also available to us, because as a generation of people, we are in a cusp of time where if we act now, within the next 10 to 15 years' time, we can make a significant turnaround, not just in this place, in the whole world we can make a significant turnaround. But if we do not do anything for another 25 to 40 years, then it may be completely out of our hand. Why is this so? According to UNFAO, approximately 27,000 species of organisms are going extinct every year. I hope you heard that number. Not 27,000 organisms. 27,000 species are going extinct per year. At this rate, this slide that is happening right now, approximately in 25 to 40 years, somewhere in that period, it is possible it will go into tumble. Once it goes into tumble, there is nothing that you can do or I can do or anybody can do. Before it goes into the tumble, we can arrest the slide and push it back. It is not rocket science, nor does it take enormous financial outlays. All it takes is focusing ourselves in the right direction and a relentless commitment to make that happen. Fortunately, all governments across the world, almost every nation that we have gone through, the agricultural ministries and environment ministries have responded very, very positively, and 74 nations have given declarations that they will implement the soil policy document that we have given them. We, in consultation and participation of very high-level scientists in the last 2.5 years, we prepared a document which is a policy handbook. It is not a policy, it is a policy handbook. That is, it's a technical document. We prepared 193 unique documents based on the latitudinal position of a nation, the soil types, the economic situations of the given nation, and also the agricultural practices or the agricultural traditions of that country, because even if you have all the science on your side, you cannot change agricultural traditions overnight. So taking these 4 aspects, we made 193 unique documents which have reached all those nations, because when I addressed COP15 in Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire or Ivory Coast, this was done, and there has been an extremely positive response. Many of them are studying this, and we are also forming a committee to handhold small nations to see this through. When I reach Yoga Center, I just have 4 days. After that, I'm again traveling to various nations to continue the negotiations, because they're all inviting us to see how to take this ahead. And in all the states that we have gone through till now, Gujarat, Rajasthan, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, every one of them have signed MOUs, and they've made very strong declarations that they will make it happen. And today morning they were in Bangalore with our Honorable Chief Minister, and he unequivocally said Karnataka will turn its soil around in the next 2 years, 100%. So, right now I have no doubt whether this will happen or not. Definitely it is going to happen. The world has oriented itself in the right direction. Now the challenge is only the pace. At what speed will they go? If it takes 25 years, 30 years, it's no good. It needs to happen in 8 to 12 years' time. So for this, you need to keep your voices up. Not here, don't shout, I'm already converted. Hello, not me. Don't shout at me. You need to keep it up as a part of this, especially till now I have not announced this, but we will do this everywhere later. But I thought we'll start with Mysore, the youth of Mysore. I didn't even say anything yet, come on. The youth of Mysore, all of you who are willing, we are willing to give you a free one-day training as to what is soil regeneration, what does a simple farmer have to do. So whenever you have time, let's say one Sunday in a month, you just travel outside 25-50 kilometers away in Mysore district and just talk to the local farmers, tell them, see, this is what you need to do, you understand the science. It'll just take you half a day to 1 day to understand this, and you could be speaking like a soil scientist. Because I am not a soil scientist, I am not an ecologist, I am not an environmentalist, I am not even an activist. I am like a worm on this planet. Because I have crawled on this planet for 6.5 decades, so I know what is happening. So people asking me, Sadhguru, how come only you know? Why I don't know? This is because you created your own world. You are living in your own world. You have misunderstood your psychological process, your thought and emotion as a world by itself. I got nothing here, it's empty. So I crawl on the earth like a worm. Everything that happens to the soil, everything that happens to the atmosphere happens to me in some way. And here I am, a worm crawling, little fast these days, but still crawling. So I want you to understand, the most important thing that needs to happen in your lives is, right now we are in the university. I've also had the pleasure of being in the university. And I've had many fond memories here. I don't want to say how I use this arena. So, what I'm saying is, it is possible that every one of us could bring this into our lives. Right now, we are misunderstanding information as attention, or we have replaced information, instead of attention, we have put information. See, information makes you smart with somebody who doesn't have the information, but it doesn't make you life smart. For life, you need attention. Unfortunately, this has happened right from our school days, just heaps of information. No, you need attention. Without attention, you cannot open any door in this universe. Whether you want to progress in your life in terms of, you have to pay attention to people around you. Hello? Ask the girls, they will tell you. You have to pay attention, otherwise nothing happens, all right? Either it is that, or it is your economic well-being, you want to do business, you want to do politics, or you want to go deep into spiritual processes. You need attention, not information. Information makes a fool look smart. That's the whole problem with it. Because you can refer to Google and say, it's like this. You know the Galaxy Z65 where it is? Well, nobody knows. It's on your phone, we know that. So I'm saying just information is important to a certain extent, but human attention is being replaced by information. This is a very tragic affair. This is the reason why we have done what we have done to this planet, because we have no attention. We have no attention to feel what's happening around us. Like somebody sends me, this is 1 year that I spoke about me missing mangoes, so people have been keeping me with mangoes everywhere since I entered India. But I must tell you, in the last nearly 27, 28 years, this is the first year that I'm in India during the mango season, and really… He went there, but out of sheer habit, he started digging for mangoes. When he did not find any mangoes, he became furious. He dug furiously. Slowly the tree came upon him. This is the story of humanity right now. In search of happiness, in search of well-being. Tell me, whether you felt happy or miserable, whether you felt joy or misery, did it happen within you or outside of you? Within you. Whether you felt love or hate, did it happen within you or outside of you? Whether it is agony or ecstasy, light or darkness, anything that you ever experienced happened only within you.
Yes.
So, when the whole human experience is being manufactured within you, why are you seeking happiness in the world? That is the basis of soil destruction. This is why Save Soil movement is under the Conscious Planet banner, because what we need is more conscious human beings. Once you are empowered with this level of intelligence, you need to be conscious. Otherwise, either you'll cause damage to yourself, or to somebody else, or to everybody around you. This is all that's happening. Right now, every one of us, whether we are conscious of it or not, every one of us are partners in this massive destruction that we have done. Every one of us.
Yes.
The only way is every one of us become partners in the solution. Whatever, irrespective of race, religion, nationality, gender, political affiliations, philosophies, different departments in the university. I have my own experience there, that's why I'm saying. Doesn't matter what, we all come from the same soil. We thrive on the same soil. We go back to the same soil. This is a tremendous unifier. We need to use this not only to turn the soil around, which is a must for our well-being and the well-being of future generations, but this is also one common denominator. You and me may not agree on many things. You and me may have many differences, but we are made of the same soil. This one awareness should at least prevent us from doing terrible things to each other, which is happening in the world in the name of confrontations, fights, they call it politics, they call it war, they call it many things. all that is happening is human beings are doing terrible things to each other and every other damn life on this planet. 67% of the vertebrate population on the planet has disappeared in the last 70 years. I want you to repeat that. How many? 67% of the vertebrate population on the planet has disappeared in 70 years. 84% of the biomass insects have disappeared in the last 70 years. You must tell me, what's the number? 84%. Because I want you to talk to everybody around you. 92% of the freshwater aquatic life on this planet has disappeared in the last 70 years. 92%. Yes. What is our plan? Do we have a plan? See, Albert Einstein said something terrible about Indians, something very horrible about Indians. He said, Indians can't think beyond 15 minutes. I want to prove he met the wrong Indians. Are you there? Yes. He met the wrong Indians. The right Indians are here. We can think for the future. We can think for our own well-being. We can think for the future generations' well-being. Or are you those people who are calling yourself Generation Z? No. Generation Z, don't say that. That sounds like the last generation to me. You do ABC. Otherwise you do 1, 2, 3, the numbers are safer, okay? Alphabets are only 26 in English language. This is very important that this life, this is one important thing, all of you, because environment means, those who fight for the environment, war on climate change, they're saying. I said, climate change is bad enough, why do we need a war? They're angry on the streets and screaming and going at everybody, abusing everybody in the world. See, if you get angry, definitely global warming is happening, isn't it? Don't you know this from your experience? So this is not a protest, this is not an agitation, this is not an expression of anger, resentment.